everybody, Matt Bell here. This is episode 3 of the Improv for Violinists video series. As promised, we're going to do some playing and hand out some techniques for playing, okay? In the first video, I gave you some homework. I want you to watch 2 videos that I did for Electric Violin Shop. The gist of those videos is this. One, we'll be using numbers instead of notes in many cases. The number is the scale degree of the major scale. In A, if I'm thinking in A, then 1 is A, 2 is B, 3 is C sharp, and etc. So if I want to talk about a C natural, I would just say a flat 3, okay? If that makes sense to you, let's move on. If not, go back and watch the video that's linked somewhere around here. The second video talks about 3 scales: the major pentatonic scale, the minor pentatonic scale, and the blues scale. If you aren't familiar with those scales, especially the minor pentatonic, go watch the video. It's going to make this video make a lot more sense. I asked you also to start thinking about your fingerboard in terms of as if it had frets on it. Okay, so we'll think about half steps. Each half step up the fingerboard is a fret. On the A string, open A is 0th fret. B flat is 1st fret. B natural 2nd fret. C is 3rd fret. C sharp 4th. Yeah. So we will talk about some notes here in a couple different ways. My bow's in my way, isn't it? Sorry. We'll use the number system, scale degree. We'll use the fret on any given string, like the 3rd fret on the A string, which is 2nd finger on the A string, because 2nd finger on the A string could be anything, right? But I use it in conjunction with a note or a number, scale degree, and a fret. So I may say 2nd finger on the A string, 3rd fret, that's a flat 3. So the minor pentatonic scale is 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7. In the key of A, that is A, C, D, E, G. So let's play that starting on 2nd fret on the G string, 1st finger. Okay, now let's extend that up. So as you notice, as we descend, there's a pattern. From a finger standpoint, we're looking at 3, 2, 0, 3, 2, 0, 3, 1, 0, 3, 1. And then if I add the G, which is a flat 7 at the bottom, we get 3 notes per string. 3, 2, 0, 3, 2, 0, 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 0. Okay? If we think in terms of frets, it's 5, 3, 0, 5, 3, 0, 5, 2, 0, 5, 2, 0. And there's a reason to think like that, so just hang with me. This helps us not to think very hard when we're playing an A minor pentatonic scale. By the way, this is how guitar players learn scales. They learn shapes, okay? So while you're improvising, you can use those shapes and help simplify the thought process, leaves you more bandwidth for expression and direction solo. That opening thing that I did was almost completely A minor pentatonic, all just thinking in terms of shapes instead of notes, okay? So if you play 5-string violin like me, you now have access to a simple pattern that works for both A and D minor pentatonic scales, because I can take the and I can move it down a string, which gives me the D minor pentatonic scale, right? So those are 2 very common scales that you're going to use in the music world. Pop music, there's just those scales, you use those a lot. But what if I'm playing in a horn band and I want to play a B flat minor pentatonic scale? Does that mean I have to learn a whole new shape? No. That's why we think in terms of frets. So what do guitar players do when they want to transpose? They've got this thing going, they just go, and then they move the whole thing up 1 fret, right? So it's the same basic shape, you just move everything up 1 fret. Now, instead of using with the open strings, that doesn't work, right? So say we come up 1 fret, so instead of 5, 3, 0, 5, 3, 0, 5, 2, 0, 5, 2, 0, everything comes up 1 fret. So it's 6, 4, 1, 6, 4, 1, 6, 3, 1, 6, 3, 1. So we're going to use our fingers 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1. Same basic shape, just a slightly different finger. So that's the B flat minor pentatonic scale. If I want to come up and do C minor, it's the same thing. You just keep moving up the fretboard. 4-3-1, 4-3-1, 4-2-1, 4-2-1. Okay? So now when we're soloing, we're not just playing these scales in their entirety, right? That's not a solo. We're not just ripping scales. I mean, it could be, but that's not incredibly interesting. Will you use the scale in its entirety? Yeah, but not just that, okay? The reason that we talk scales is just to let us know which of the 12 tones we're using for this particular lick. Hey, that's a pentatonic lick. That means that the player only chose notes out of those 5 notes, and you don't even have to use them all, okay? That beginning thing, that's a pentatonic lick. You can also create double stops. Then he is. Right? So you can do double stops. We can combine these any way we want. So that's just one minor pentatonic shape. Okay? You can explore around and you can find some more. Okay? This isn't about me doing all the work for you. This is about me sort of unlocking some concepts and you running with it. Okay? So maybe you can find another shape that starts on 3 or something. I don't know. So now let's throw out a major pentatonic shape. Okay, that's a minor. Let's look at a major pentatonic shape. Let's start in G major. The G major pentatonic scale is G, A, B, D, E. All right? Starting on open G. 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 3, 0, 1, 3, 0, 2, 3. And then up to 4. Right? Okay? Pretty simple. 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3, 2, 3. Not quite as simple as the 2 patterns in minor, but still pretty simple, right? Just 3 patterns. 0, 2, 0, 3, 3, 2, 3. The one in the middle repeats. If we want to play the next mode of that, starting on A, or the 2 of the chord, and avoiding open strings so we can transpose easier, we could call it 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Or if you prefer descending, which I do, and we'll get into those reasons later, it's 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1. Okay? From a fret standpoint, it's 7, 5, 3, 7, 5, 2, 7, 5, 2, 7, 4, 2, which helps us when we're transposing. Okay? So now we've got 2 shapes. We've got a major shape and a minor shape. But notice that neither of those end on the tonic or the root. Okay? It's cool because we hardly ever use a scale in its entirety, and you often resolve to a different chord anyway. Okay? But I also want to point out that these aren't just major and minor. These aren't really major and minor shapes. Okay? They're just 2 different pentatonic shapes, because the G major pentatonic scale is also the E minor pentatonic scale. Okay? And the A minor pentatonic scale is the same as the C major pentatonic scale. The relative minor, you understand the relative minor thing? If not, we'll cover that. So between these 2 shapes, the first, second, and third position, using these 2 shapes, you've got pretty much every pentatonic scale right there. Especially if you have a 5-string violin, you can just shift everything down a string. Okay, so 2 shapes, 3 positions, lots and lots of scales. Life is good. So your homework this week is to play around with these 2 shapes. Try them in different positions so you can practice your G sharp major scale, which sounds awful, but not if you think in terms of shapes instead of individual notes. Okay, and try to write some licks. Okay, you can just sort of come up with a lick. Okay, whatever. So, as a note, one major problem that classically trained players have when they start to improv is that they think everything has to be technically difficult or demanding. The best solos, though, are simple. It's the expression and the creativity that carries the day, not how technically demanding it is. Okay? Yes, I know about bebop. If you're a hardcore bebop guy, you haven't made it this far, and you closed my video in the first 5 seconds. So think more Eric Clapton and less John Coltrane. Okay, so Eric Clapton, his nickname was the slow hand. Here's a tune, Wonderful Tonight. Right, that lick? Everybody knows that lick? That thing has moved more people to tears than any of the bebop kings ever thought about. That's not a shot at bebop or anything. I love bebop, okay? But this is a beginning intermediate course, okay? Did you bust out Mendelssohn on your first day? No. You started on Twinkle, okay? So keep it simple. Rule number 2, keep it simple. Rule number 3, keep it simple. Whole notes, half notes, quarter notes. That's plenty. You don't have to be ripping here, okay? So maybe a double stop here and there. Okay, something simple. Melodic, musical, tasty, those are all words that we like to hear, okay? Very few critiques of improv solos contain the words, not enough notes, okay? Millions of critiques contain the words, too many notes. We're learning here, okay? Less is more. So practice those shapes, write a couple of licks. I will see you back here next week to show you how to use those licks, okay? Shapes, licks, simple, 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 simple.